Hey everybody, it's the Linkzilla here, coming back to you with another Jurassic Park Minecraft update. Now, when we last left off, that update was a bit on a somber note because I basically thought that there was no way to keep my dinosaurs from getting electrified on the fences without replacing the fences with wood ones, and we all know that that's not going to happen. I am far too lazy to go back on everything that I've already done. So, as you can see, I came up with a new idea. Basically, like most zoos, I'm going to build a trench in front of the wall, and as much as I'm going to try to do it, I'm going to try and have the water sources along the wall flow backward into the pen in order to carry the animals away from the pen and hopefully back onto shore. The Brachiosaur is back. So as you can see, I've definitely got like a lot more dinosaurs out here nowadays, and basically, like, this whole thing has been kind of a mess from the beginning, because for some reason, like, the dinosaurs just, well, I think maybe it's because they're hungry. They end up attacking, like, some of the hostile mobs around here, and usually the littler ones bite off more than they can chew and get themselves killed, so basically that's a huge problem. So all these Dilophosaurs out here are tame to me, and I've gone through painstaking lengths to finally get them grown up to a size where they'll hopefully be able to defend themselves. But another big problem that I have is, like, these ones over here. They seem to be drawn to this corner, almost like they knowingly want to get out of the fence. And I mean, I'm just thinking that, like, basically, on GanonGhidorah, they're confined to these really tiny pens, so I'd imagine that they would want to get out, but they've got literally this entire portion of jungle to explore. Why the heck are they staying around here? And basically speaking, another big problem is that, like, there's not really much in terms of food for them to eat without me spawning in a whole bunch of vanilla animals, so I basically had to resort to pretty much the usual tactics. I've got a couple of feeders here that are basically close to the bubbles, so they'll be happy, and they're filled with both meat and plant matter, so that the brachiosaurs can get on it as well. I mean, this one basically is just milling around, minding its own business, and it's just not eating for some reason. Basically, I feel like somehow this thing's programming gets stuck whenever it climbs up on top of that bush. As you can see, by forcing it to move, I finally made it eat something. It's like you basically would forget to eat. And where's that other big brachiosaur? I like the brachiosaurs, but the problem is they're so big right here that they just literally get in the way, so now I gotta get him out of the way. Or her, I don't know. Don't remember if it's the crest or not having the crest that makes the dinosaurs male or female. I mean, I know that what it does for the Dilophosaurs, but for the Brachiosaurs, it's different. Okay, finally out. The thing that you gotta keep in mind is that you really don't want to piss off a Brachiosaur. Like, because they're so big, I was fighting, like, some of the hostile mobs, and I accidentally hit the Brachiosaur instead. The thing reared up on its hind legs and squashed me. One fell swoop. And then, when I accidentally did it again, it hit me once, and I was down to half a heart, and I had to hide under this bush in order to get away from it. And it was like standing on top of the bush trying to figure out how to get to me. You guys heard that? There was a creeper going off, and it's because one of these things tried to eat the creeper. Seriously, this isn't a river. This isn't something that you guys should be using for leisure. Get out! Maybe if I put half slabs there. I feel like half slabs would be easier to get out of. So basically, that's like one of the major things is that I'm probably going to do. So I'm going to spend the next few days, maybe in the next few weeks, digging out the trenches. A lot of you are probably wondering what this whole sandy area is, but those of you who know Jurassic Park probably already know that... I'm sorry, I got the hiccups. I just ate before starting this recording, and if you couldn't tell, I was drinking something off screen, because you gotta stay hydrated during these things, or else it's gonna kick your ass. So, this whole area right here is where the Velociraptor holding pen goes, because the raptors are too dangerous to release into the park, so they're gonna be left out here. The problem is that you basically realize that this is actually pretty close to the visitor center, which is actually plot relevant to the movie, and there is a mountain range over there, but I honestly don't get what they were thinking by having the most dangerous animals in the movie be so close to the visitor center. I mean, that's the way it is in the book, and it is kind of, it's frightening, really. Fortunately, the map establishes that the safety bunker actually isn't adjacent to this thing, as we all thought, but the power station is somewhere off in that direction. I just haven't built it yet, and I don't know how I'm going to build it. I don't know what it's going to look like. All I know is that it's basically going to be underground. So, I think that for the next few episodes, I'm going to focus on trying to get the raptor pen built, because I like the raptors and I like the Deinonychus, so I'm going to get them bred in and brought into this map in order to give some interesting animals in here. Don't get me wrong, Dilophosaurus and Brachiosaurus are great, but I don't really see the Dilophosaurs hunting. Basically, the Dilophosaurs are basically like diurnal, so they sleep during the day, but Deinonychus and Velociraptors, they're nocturnal, so if these guys ever get out and get loose into the park, they're going to be moving around at night hunting me. So that's basically one of the things I'm looking forward to the most. It's kind of interesting when you think about it, because maybe there's a possibility that Muldoon and Ellie ended up dooming the other characters in Jurassic Park, the ones that get killed. Although, after Muldoon, no one really gets killed. Muldoon is the only person the raptors kill. How about that? What I was basically saying is that Ellie and Muldoon end up leaving the emergency bunker and then passing by the raptor pen on their way to the maintenance shed. And the raptors basically stay around in that area hunting Muldoon and Ellie. One of them goes into the maintenance shed because it followed Mr. Arnold down there and killed him, and that's the one that shows up at the end during the climax of the movie, while the other two end up hunting and killing Muldoon. And then, I think basically because Ellie and Muldoon came out there, the raptors were able to follow their scent trail back to the visitor center. And that would actually make a lot of sense to sync up the time, because I would still think that, it was still pretty early in the morning, maybe directly at noon, when Grant and the kids made it to the perimeter fence to walk the rest of the way back to the visitor center. And yet, by the time the characters are leaving the island, it's clearly sunset. Grant didn't seem like he was gone for all that long, but basically when you realize how big the island is, especially in Minecraft, it's a pretty long friggin' walk. I'm surprised that they were able to walk as far as they did in the park in just one day. So, they pretty much, it still would have taken them a long time to get to the visitor center from the main gate, and that would have been enough time for the raptors to find their way to the visitor center as well. What I like is that they're coming from different directions, because the actual park is to the west of the visitor center, whereas the raptor pen is to the southeast, so kind of cool there. Anyways, that is basically all the time that I have left for this video. I'm going to cut so much of this video out, but mostly I'm done talking. I'm got to go get my laundry. I need a drink of water. I'll talk to you guys